Hi friends, we are from AC2206H. We will present about comparative study on annual reports of two organizations from construction and consumer product industry sectors of the main market, Bursa Malaysia.
The two sectors identified for this semester are construction and consumer product.
First, let's look at business and economic literature review on the industries. The two industry sector given are construction and consumer product.
The first industry is construction industry. Construction industry is divided into three major sectors, which are buildings, infrastructure and industrial. Building construction, usually further divided into residential and non-residential. Infrastructure, often called heavy civil or heavy engineering, that includes large public works, dams, bridges, highways, or railways. Industrial construction includes refineries, process chemical, mills, and power generation. We decided to choose Advanced Khan Holdings Berhad for this industry. Advanced Khan Holdings Berhad is a specialist provider of earthworks and civil engineering services, primarily for township developments and infrastructure projects in Malaysia. Advanced Khan's wide range of earthworks services include excavation and fill, rock blasting, erosion, and sediment control plan, as well as compaction and surface finishing process. Advanced Khan also specialize in civil engineering services, such as road works, drainage works, bridge construction, water supply works, and sewerage works. The second industry is consumer product industry. The consumer product sector is a category of stocks and companies that relate to items purchased by individuals and households rather than by manufacturers and industries. These companies make and sell products that are intended for direct use by the buyers for their own use and enjoyment. This sector includes companies that involved with food production, packaged goods, beverages, clothing, automobiles and electronics. For this industry, we decided to choose Ajinomoto, Malaysia Berhad, that is a dynamic food seasoning company that is trusted by Malaysian for decades. They focus on the delivery of products and services with highest quality. It is the company's policy to continuously improve the product range and implement effective sales strategies, including the product distribution network for its other seasoning product in the household and food service market.
Then, let's look at the background of both companies. The first company is Advanced Khan Infra SDNBHD. It is a leading construction company, with over 25 years of experience in civil engineering and infrastructure works. They are primarily involved in the provision of earthworks and civil engineering services, which is a sub-sector of the construction industry in Malaysia. They are also involved in the provision of support services, such as sale of construction materials, hiring of machinery, and ad hoc general construction services or day work. The second company is Ajinomoto, Malaysia Berhad, that started its business operations in 1961 as Ajinomoto Monosodium Glutamate (MSG) producer. It is one of the very first Japanese companies to be set up in Malaysia. Ajinomoto, Malaysia Berhad has since grown into a dynamic food and seasoning manufacturer marketing diverse brand name that is trusted by Malaysian for decades. Ajinomoto umami seasoning has become an indispensable item in almost every household. In the year 1965, the company was awarded its halal certification, which solidifies its position in Malaysia. Several years after the company went public and changed its name to Ajinomoto, Malaysia Berhad. This amazing milestone meant that the company was well received nationally and have gained the public's interest to invest in them. The company continues to diversify its product line as the years gone by. They have produced varieties of seasoning that caters to the Southeast Asian taste, and have since captured the taste buds of many Malaysians. The year 1998 was an amazing year for them as they received their ISO certification. The following years they continue to receive many other awards and certifications such as SIRIM. In 2011, they celebrated their 50th anniversary.
Next, we will discuss on the analysis of the differences and similarities of the two different industries with regards to statutory requirements. First, we will look at the similarities between the two organizations in different industry.
With regards to MFRS 7, financial instrument disclosure for credit risk, Advanced's exposure to credit risk arises mainly from trade and other receivables. The maximum credit risk is limited to carrying amount of each class of financial assets recognized in the SOFP of the group and the company less any allowance for impairment losses where applicable. The credit risk of Ajinomoto, the company's exposure to credit risk arises primarily from trade and other receivables. The maximum credit risk is limited to carrying amount of each class of financial assets recognized in the SOFP, including derivatives with positive fair values. The liquidity risk of Advanced, liquidity risk arises mainly from general funding and business activities. The group practices prudent risk management by maintaining sufficient cash balances and the availability of funding through certain committed credit facilities. And for liquidity risk of Ajinomoto, liquidity risk arises primarily from mismatches of the maturities of financial assets and liabilities. The company maintain a balance between continuity of funding and flexibility through the use of standby credit facilities. The market risk that includes interest risk for Advanced, the group's exposure to interest rate risk arises mainly from borrowings with variable rates. The group's policy is to obtain the most favorable interest rates available and by maintaining a balanced portfolio mix of fixed and floating rate borrowings. And for Ajinomoto, the market risk includes interest and foreign risk. Interest rate risk arises primarily from the deposits placed with licensed financial institutions. The similarities of industries with regards of MFRS 9, financial instrument, under financial asset, subsequent measurement, at fair value, through profit and loss for Advanced. All other financial assets that do not meet the criteria for amortized cost, or fair value, through other comprehensive income, are measured at fair value, through profit or loss. And for Ajinomoto, financial asset, subsequent measurement, at fair value, through profit and loss, financial asset, are measured at fair value. Exchange differences, interest, and dividend income, on financial assets at fair value, through profit or loss, are recognized separately, in profit or loss, as part of other losses, or other income. While under the financial liabilities, Advanced's financial liabilities are measured at fair value, through profit or loss. Other financial liabilities are measured at amortized cost, using the effective interest method. And for Ajinomoto, financial liabilities are measured at fair value, through profit or loss. Other financial liabilities measured at amortized cost, using the effective interest method. With regards to MFRS 15, revenue from contracts with customer, both companies adopted it. Advanced has adopted MFRS 15 when preparing the report and calculation. For MFRS 119, employee benefit, both companies has short-term benefit and defined contribution plans. And for MFRS 126, accounting and reporting by retirement benefit plans, both companies do not adopt it in this group report.
Now, let's look at the differences of the two different industries with regards to statutory requirements. For MFRS 2, shared-based payment, for Advanced, amendments to MFRS 2, classification and measurement of share-based payment transactions. For Ajinomoto, amendments to MFRS 2, classification and measurement of share-based payment transactions. It will be effective on or after the 1st of January 2018. Amendment to MFRS 2, share-based payment effective for annual periods beginning on or after the 1st of January 2020. For MFRS 7, disclosures as in the financial statements, Advanced has adopted it. and for Ajinomoto, fair value of an asset or a liability, except for lease transactions, is determined as the price that would be received to sell an asset or paid to transfer a liability in an orderly transaction between market participants at the measurement date. For financial instruments where there is no active market, fair value is determined using valuation techniques. Techniques may include using recent arm's length transactions, reference to current fair value of another instrument that is substantially the same, and discounted cash flow analysis or other valuation models. With regards to MFRS 9, Advancedcon has adopted this MFRS 9 and IFRS 9 issued by IASB in July 2014. This MFRS will be disclosed in Note 40.3 to the financial statement. This because the measurement of financial asset under MFRS 9 and the timing and amount of revenue recognized under MFRS 15 are consistent to the group's current practice. Ajinomoto has adopted this MFRS 9 of financial instruments and will be effective from the 1st of January 2018 with conjunction with MFRS 139, Financial Instrument, Recognition and Measurement. Financial assets are recognized in the statement of financial position when, and only when, the company becomes a party to the contractual provisions of the financial instrument. Financial liabilities are classified according to the substance of the contractual arrangements entered into and the definitions of a financial liability. After that, 15. Revenue from contracts with customers. There are amendments to MFRS 15, clarification to MFRS 15. Revenue from contracts with customers is recognized by reference to each distinct performance obligation in the contract with customer. The group recognizes revenue when, or as, it transfers control over a product or service to customer. For Ajinomoto Company, this MFRS is new and revised pronouncement not yet in effect. The company decided to apply MFRS 15 retrospectively with cumulative effect on initially applying this standard as an adjustment to the opening balance of retained earnings of the annual reporting periods, which is only to contract that are not completed at the date of initial application, i.e. the 1st of January 2017. Under construction services, revenue from construction services is recognized over time in the period in which the services are rendered using the input method. Under hiring the machinery and sale of goods, the revenue is recognized in the period in which the services are rendered and on a straight-line method over the period of service. For MFRS 119, Employee Benefits, there are amendments to MFRS 19, Plan Amendment, Curtailment or Settlement. Effective on the 1st of January 2019. For Advancedcon, under Defined Contribution Plans, the group's contributions to defined contribution plans are recognized in profit or loss and included in the construction costs. For Ajinomoto, defined contribution plans are post-employment benefit plans under which the company pays fixed contributions into separate entities or funds and will have no legal or constructive obligation to pay further contributions if any of the funds do not hold sufficient assets to pay all employee benefits relating to employee services in the current and preceding financial years. Under share-based payment transaction, the group operates an equity-settled share-based compensation plan. Upon expiry of the share option, the employee share option reserve is transferred to retained profit. The company has a partly funded defined benefit plan for employees and executives who have served the required number of years of service. Contributions are made to approved benefit schemes operated by independent trustees in accordance with a trust deed. Next, for MFRS 126, Retirement Benefit Plan. This MFRS 126 does not adopted in Advancedcon's report. For Ajinomoto, retirement benefit obligations, actuarial valuation includes discount rates, future salary increases, mortality rates and future retirement increases, due to the complexity of the valuation and its long-term nature. A defined benefit obligation is highly sensitive to changes in these assumptions. All assumptions are reviewed at each reporting period date. And the last one is MFRS 132, Financial Instruments Presentation. Both companies do not adopted this MFRS, but in Ajinomoto, there is IC Interpretation 132 Intangible Assets, website costs, effective 1 January 2019.
Next, we will discuss about voluntary disclosure, corporate social responsibility. For Advancon Holdings Berhad, the company had raised some funds, and the amount raised was for benefit of one of their long-serving employees, who was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. The company also showed their support in Makna Breast Cancer Awareness Campaign. The company also participated in fundraising event, and the funds generated were donated to Squash Racket Association of Malaysia (SRAM) for their sport educational activity, which involved underprivileged group and children with disabilities. As they are in their second year of listing, they continue to support Bursa Bull Charge event, that was channeled towards registered underprivileged homes and orphanages with Yayasan Bursa Malaysia. And, for Ajinomoto Malaysia Berhad, it is in collaboration with International Medical University (IMU), organize a CSR award-winning project of Eat Well, Live Well Together with Umami. For the elderly home to promote a better quality of life and improved health standard of golden-aged population. AMB also participated in secondary school educational project theme, Delicious Healthy Living, that educated young generation, on the importance of well-balanced diet, and vegetables intake. Next, a successful collaboration between AMB, and local community, homemaker program promoted the importance of balanced diet, and tackled the issue, of poor vegetable intake among Malaysian. Lastly, Ajinomoto Co. was the platinum sponsor of the 29th SEA Games and the 9th ASEAN Para Games held in Malaysia. AMB had launched a series of sports promotions through online, print and in-store channels.
Last but not least, let's discuss about voluntary disclosure on environmental issues. There is one similarities on the environmental issues of both companies, that is waste management. For Advancon, the efforts are ongoing. However, their last report showed that all scheduled waste generated from the project, as well as from corporate office, are segregated and transported to designated disposal sites appropriately. And for Ajinomoto, it extensively promotes the 4R concept in practice: reduce, reuse, recycle and recovery, in all levels of the company, to minimize waste generation. Solid waste, such as metal, plastic, aluminium cans, paper, dry sludge, from effluent treatment are segregated and recycled, as part of the company's contribution to reduce the impact on the environment. The company has also increased the subsidy for the collection of recyclable waste.
Besides, there are differences on the environmental issues between those companies. Advancon concerning health and safety. Trainings involving hazard identification, risk assessment, and risk control (HIRARC) have been ongoing to achieve occupational health and safety management system ISO certification. The group also aimed to obtain CIVB safety and health assessment system in construction (SHASSIC) award for all of their current projects.
For Ajinomoto Company, in respect with energy consumption and reduction, it reduces the greenhouse gas emissions by increasing energy efficiency at the manufacturing plant. They also reduce energy consumption through the implementation of various energy-saving initiatives. Implemented steam-saving project aims to reduce fuel oil consumption at the MSG production line at AMB manufacturing facility.
Ajinomoto Company also concerns about the ozone-depleting substances (ODS). It is the company's policy to ban the use of ODS within its operations.
Next, environmental issues of Ajinomoto is water consumption and conservation. The company is conscious with its water usage, and proactively reducing its water consumption. The use of less water, reducing the energy required to heat water in the process. They have achieved water savings of 0.3 meter cube per ton of product for financial year the 31st of March 2018, which translates to a 3.5% decrease in water consumption compared to the previous financial year.
And the last environmental issue in Ajinomoto is effluent treatment. Construct a highly advanced effluent treatment plant (ETP) that fully complies with the Environmental Quality Industrial Effluent Regulations 2009 to treat process effluent and to reduce the key effluent quality parameters such as chemical oxygen demand (COD), biological oxygen demand (BOD), and total nitrogen (TN) before the effluent is discharged into the receiving watercourse.
That's all for our presentation. Thank you for watching.